My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a moment in life when you sit quietly and realize something powerful, something uncomfortable, something real, that no one is coming to teach you everything you need to succeed. No perfect teacher, no perfect moment, no perfect system. And especially when it comes to learning English, many people keep waiting. Waiting for a teacher, waiting for a course, waiting for the right time. But let me tell you something from the depth of my heart. Your life does not change when a teacher comes. Your life changes when you decide. Learning English alone is not a weakness. It is a strength. It is proof that you are willing to take responsibility for your own growth. And the truth is, the most powerful learners in this world are not those who had the best teachers, but those who refused to stop learning, even when they had none. You don't need a classroom to grow. You don't need permission to improve. You don't need anyone to tell you that you are capable. You already are. But the question is, do you believe it? Because the biggest barrier between you and English fluency is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. It is not pronunciation. It is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of starting. And because of this fear, many people stay silent. They understand a little, they know a little, but they never speak. They wait for perfection before they begin. But listen carefully. Perfection is not the starting point. It is the result of consistent, imperfect effort. If you want to learn English alone, the first step is not opening a book. The first step is changing your mindset. You must give yourself permission to be a beginner. Yes, you will make mistakes. Yes, your sentences will be broken. Yes, people might not understand you at first. But do you know what is more dangerous than making mistakes? Never trying at all. Every fluent speaker you admire today was once a beginner. They struggled. They hesitated. They made hundreds, even thousands of mistakes. But they kept going. And that is what you must do. Start where you are. Start with what you know. Even if it is just a few words, speak to yourself. Yes, it may feel strange at first, but when you speak to yourself, you remove the fear of judgment. You create a safe space where you can practice freely. Describe your day in English. Talk about what you see. Talk about what you feel. Even simple sentences like, I am eating food. I am going outside. I feel happy today. These small sentences are not small steps. They are powerful beginnings. Consistency is more important than complexity. You don't need to study for hours. You need to show up every day. Even 10 minutes of focused practice can change your brain over time. Because learning a language is not about memorizing. It is about building a habit. And habits are built daily. Another truth you must accept is this. You will feel uncomfortable. There will be days when you feel like you are not improving. Days when you forget words. Days when you feel like giving up. But growth is not a straight line. Some days you will feel confident. Some days you will feel lost. And both are part of the journey. Do not measure your progress by perfection. Measure it by consistency. Ask yourself, did I practice today? If the answer is yes, then you are moving forward. You don't need a teacher to correct you all the time. Today, you have something powerful, access. You have mobile phones, you have the internet, you have videos, audios, apps, and endless content. But having access is not enough. You must use it with intention. Don't just watch videos passively. Engage with them. Pause them, repeat sentences, try to copy pronunciation, try to understand meaning. Turn your learning into action. Because learning without action is just information. And information alone does not change your life. Action does. And let me tell you something very important. Do not compare your journey with others. Someone might learn faster than you. Someone might speak better than you. Someone might have more resources than you. But their journey is not your journey. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. If you are better than yesterday, even by 1%, you are winning. And if you keep improving 1% every day, imagine where you will be after 1 year. Fluent? Maybe not perfect. Confident? Absolutely. Independent? Definitely. Because when you learn alone, you don't just learn English. You learn discipline. You learn patience. You learn self-belief. And these are the skills that will transform every area of your life. So don't wait for someone to teach you. Become your own teacher. Trust your journey. Trust your effort. And most importantly, trust yourself. Because the moment you stop waiting and start doing, that is the moment your life begins to change. There is a silent truth about learning English alone that very few people talk about. And that truth is this: motivation will not stay with you every day. There will be mornings when you feel excited, ready to learn, ready to speak, ready to grow. But there will also be days when you feel tired, distracted, even hopeless. Days when your mind whispers, "This is too hard. Maybe I can't do it." And in those moments, you must remember something very powerful. You are not learning English based on motivation. You are learning it based on discipline. Because motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. If you truly want to learn English without a teacher, you must create a simple daily system. Not a complicated plan, not something overwhelming. Just a small routine that you can follow every single day, no matter how you feel. Start with just 20 to 30 minutes a day. Yes, that's enough. But those 20-30 minutes must be focused. Divide your time into 3 simple parts. First, input. This means listening and reading. Choose something simple, a short video, a basic story, even a few sentences. Listen carefully, don't rush. Try to understand the meaning. If you don't understand everything, it's okay. You are not supposed to understand everything in the beginning. Your job is not perfection. Your job is exposure. The more you listen, the more your brain starts recognizing patterns. The sounds become familiar. The words begin to make sense. Second, imitation. This is where real magic happens. Pause the video or audio. Repeat what you hear. Try to copy the speaker, their tone, their pronunciation, their rhythm. At first, you will feel uncomfortable. Your voice may not sound right. You may hesitate, but keep going. Because imitation is how children learn language. They don't study grammar first. They listen, and then they copy. And you can do the same. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on sounding better than yesterday. Third, output. This is the most important part, speaking. Even if you are alone, even if no one is listening, because language is not learned by watching, it is learned by using. After listening and repeating, try to create your own sentences. If you learned the sentence, "I am going to the market," try changing it. "I am going to school." "I am going to my friend's house." "I am going to learn English." Simple changes, but powerful practice. This is how your brain starts thinking in English. And that is your goal, not just to understand English, but to think in English. Now let me tell you something very honest. You will feel shy. Even when you are alone, you may feel awkward speaking English out loud. You may laugh at yourself. You may feel like stopping. But this is your ego trying to protect you from discomfort. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. So speak anyway. Speak even if your voice shakes. Speak even if your sentences break. Speak even if you feel silly. Because every word you speak is a step forward. Another powerful habit you must build is writing. Yes, writing. Take a notebook and write a few sentences every day. Write about your day, your thoughts, your feelings, even if it's simple. Today I woke up early. I studied English. I feel happy. Writing helps you organize your thoughts. It gives you time to think. It improves your vocabulary and sentence structure. And most importantly, it builds confidence. Because when you can write something, you can also speak it. Now let's talk about one mistake many learners make. They try to learn everything at once. Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, all together. And what happens? They get overwhelmed. They quit. So instead of trying to learn everything, focus on progress, not pressure. Learn a few words daily, not 50 words, just 5. But use those 5 words in sentences. Repeat them, speak them, write them. Because knowing many words means nothing if you cannot use them. Depth is more powerful than quantity. Also, stop being afraid of grammar. You don't need to master all grammar rules to start speaking. Think about it. Children speak their native language without knowing grammar rules. Why? Because they learn through usage. You can improve grammar slowly over time. But don't let grammar stop you from speaking. Speak first, improve later. Now here is something that will change your journey completely. Environment. Even if you are learning alone, you can create an English environment around you. Change your phone language to English. Watch videos in English. Listen to English daily. Surround yourself with the language. Because when you see and hear English regularly, your brain adapts faster. It becomes normal. And once it becomes normal, it becomes easy. Lastly, be kind to yourself. You are not behind. You are not slow. You are learning at your own pace, and that is perfectly okay. Celebrate small wins. The first sentence you speak, the first paragraph you write, the first time you understand something without translation. These moments matter because they are proof that you are growing. So don't rush, don't quit, and don't wait for someone to guide you every step of the way. You already have what you need: time, effort, and the courage to begin. And if you keep showing up every day, even when it's hard, you won't just learn English, you will discover a stronger version of yourself. There comes a stage in your journey where something very strange begins to happen. You start understanding more than before. Words begin to feel familiar. Sentences don't feel as heavy. You listen, and this time you recognize, and yet you still hesitate to speak. This is the stage where most learners get stuck, not because they don't know English, but because they don't trust themselves. And this is where your real transformation begins. Because learning English alone is not just about learning a language. It is about breaking the walls inside your mind. The wall of fear, the wall of doubt, the wall of what will people think. You see, the problem is not that you don't know enough English. The problem is that you are waiting to feel ready. But let me tell you something honestly. You will never feel 100% ready. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes because of action. So if you are waiting to feel confident before you start speaking, you will keep waiting forever. Instead, you must reverse the process. Start speaking even when you feel unprepared. Start expressing, even when your words are not perfect. Because every time you speak, you are sending a message to your brain. I am capable. And slowly, your brain begins to believe it. Now, this is the stage where you must take your practice to the next level. You are no longer just learning words. You are building fluency. And fluency does not mean speaking fast. Fluency means speaking without fear. Fluency means expressing your thoughts freely, even if your sentences are simple. So how do you reach that level when you are learning alone? You challenge yourself. Start thinking in English. Yes, thinking. At first, your mind will automatically translate everything from your native language. You will think in Urdu and then try to convert it into English. This slows you down. It creates confusion. But when you start thinking directly in English, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes faster. So begin with simple thoughts. What am I doing? I am sitting. I am reading. I feel tired. I want tea. These are small thoughts, but they train your brain to operate in English, and with time, your thoughts will become longer, your sentences will become stronger, and your confidence will rise naturally. Another powerful step you must take is speaking in front of a mirror. Yes, it may sound simple, but it is incredibly effective. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. Look at your expressions. Watch your confidence. Notice your hesitation, and then improve it. Speak as if you are talking to someone important, because the person in the mirror is important. This practice builds self-awareness. It improves your body language. It prepares you for real conversations, and most importantly, it removes fear. Because if you can speak confidently in front of yourself, you can speak anywhere. Now let's talk about mistakes again, but from a deeper perspective. At this stage, your mistakes will change. In the beginning, your mistakes were basic. Now, your mistakes will be more complex. And that is a good sign. It means you are growing. It means you are trying to say more. It means you are expanding your limits. So don't get frustrated, instead become curious. When you make a mistake, don't say, I am bad at English. Say, what can I learn from this? Because every mistake carries a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to fluency. Now here is something that will truly set you apart. Storytelling. Start telling small stories in English. Talk about your day. Talk about your past. Talk about your dreams. Even if your story is simple, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are connecting sentences. You are learning to express ideas, not just words. For example, today I woke up late. I was very tired. Then I had breakfast. After that, I started learning English. I feel happy because I am improving. This is not just speaking. This is communication. And communication is the real goal of language. Also, start recording yourself. Yes, use your phone. Record your voice while speaking English. Then listen to it. At first, you may feel uncomfortable. You may not like your voice. But this practice is powerful. Because when you listen to yourself, you notice your mistakes. You hear your pronunciation. You become aware of your progress. And over time, you will hear improvement. That improvement will motivate you more than anything else. Now let me tell you something very important. Stop seeking perfection from others. You don't need someone to constantly correct you. You need to keep moving. Because if you depend too much on correction, you will stop expressing yourself freely. Balance is important. Learn, but also use what you learn. Improve, but also appreciate how far you've come. Because many people quit at this stage, not because they can't learn, but because they lose patience. They expect fast results. They compare themselves, they doubt their progress, and they stop. But you must be different. You must stay. You must continue. You must trust the process, because one day, suddenly, you will speak a sentence without thinking. You will understand something without effort. You will respond without translating. And in that moment, you will realize, I am doing it. That moment is not magic. It is the result of every small effort you made when no one was watching. So keep going, keep speaking, keep learning, even when it feels slow, even when it feels difficult, because you are not just learning English anymore. You are becoming fearless. And now, we arrive at the stage that defines the entire journey. Mastery. Not just mastery of English, but mastery of yourself. Because learning a language alone is not only about words, grammar, or pronunciation. It is about patience, perseverance, and the courage to keep moving forward even when no one is watching. By now, you have listened. You have repeated. You have spoken, written, and even thought in English. You have stumbled. You have hesitated. You have made countless mistakes. But you are still here. And that is the true measure of progress, because consistency outweighs talent, and perseverance outweighs perfection. At this stage, your focus must shift from learning English to living English. What does that mean? It means incorporating English into every part of your life, not just practice sessions, not just lessons, but every conversation you have, every thought you think, every idea you express, let English become a natural part of it. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. Read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, even change your daily routines into opportunities to use English. Talk to yourself in the morning as if you are preparing for the day. Narrate your actions. I am brushing my teeth. I am making breakfast. I am going to work. At first, it may feel silly, but over time, it becomes automatic. Your brain begins to process English as a tool, not as a challenge. Another powerful method at this stage is interaction. Even if you are learning alone, do not isolate yourself completely. Join online communities, chat with learners, or comment in English on videos and posts. You don't need perfection. You don't need approval. You just need to communicate. Every sentence you write or speak adds another layer to your confidence. Every interaction teaches you something new, a word, a phrase, a sentence structure, or even cultural nuance. Now let's talk about long-term mindset. Many learners stop too early because they see English as a goal, not a journey. But language is not a goal, it is a lifelong skill. And the people who truly succeed are those who embrace it as a journey. They're not looking for shortcuts. They're not waiting for instant fluency. They're showing up daily, patiently, even when results feel slow. Because growth is silent. Progress is invisible most of the time. But if you are consistent, the results will appear, like the sunrise that always comes after the darkest night. At this stage, you must also embrace reflection. Record yourself speaking. Revisit your old writings. Notice how far you have come. Celebrate the small wins that once seemed impossible. Every improvement, every word you can now pronounce correctly, every sentence you can now form without hesitation, all of these are proof of your resilience and dedication. One of the most transformative things you can do now is storytelling. Speak your life in English. Narrate your memories, your struggles, your dreams, your victories. Storytelling teaches you to connect ideas, to express emotions, and to use English in a natural, meaningful way. It strengthens your fluency and builds confidence. And over time, what starts as a simple story becomes a rich, expressive conversation. And here is the ultimate truth. Learning English alone prepares you for so much more than English. It prepares you for life. Because the lessons you have learned, self-discipline, self-reliance, patience, courage, persistence, are universal. They will guide you in every challenge, every goal, every dream you pursue. So my dear friend, if you take one thing from this journey, let it be this. You already have everything you need. You have access, you have tools, you have the courage, and most importantly, you have yourself. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for a teacher and start showing up for your growth every single day. Set small goals, be consistent, embrace mistakes, speak even when it's uncomfortable. Think in English, write your thoughts, surround yourself with the language, and reflect on your progress. Do this for months, and you will see something extraordinary. Your mind changing, your confidence growing, your English becoming a natural part of your life. And when that day comes, when you speak English without hesitation, when you understand without translating, when you can express your thoughts freely, you will realize that learning alone was not a limitation, it was a gift. Because it taught you to trust yourself, to rely on your own effort, and to build skills that no one can ever take away from you. Remember, language is not just about words. It is about connection. It is about expression. And most importantly, it is about freedom. Freedom to communicate, freedom to grow, and freedom to shape your own life. So embrace this journey. Learn with patience, speak with courage, and celebrate every single step. Because the person who learns English alone is not just learning a language, they are becoming unstoppable. And that, my friend, is the most powerful lesson of all.